What's up, y'all? Welcome to Nucleus eSports. I'm your host, Byron Kent, and today we're going to talk to you about some Overwatch playoffs week 2, and we're going to talk to you about some Apex announcements, and we're going to give you some 2K news. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nucleus_eSports. Now let's get into it. Overwatch League is in the second week of the playoffs, and there's been plenty of highlights this week, but here are my top 3. So let's start with Seoul Dynasty versus Vancouver Titans on map 3. Ryu Jae-hong on Moira, he pops off the Coalescence, Fitz takes out the Bastion, and Fleta takes out the Sigma. And one by one they fall, as Seoul Dynasty take the last point on Horizon. And take a look at this play, as San Francisco shot Striker on the Reaper really shows up here, taking out the opposing Reaper, turn to the Orisa, then he ult to take out the Doomfist. And for our last play here, we got Vancouver versus the Gladiators, map 2. We have Jinmu, he's on Sigma. First takes out Big Goose, then he moves and takes out the Doomfist and Moira to clear the first point on Kings Row. That'll be it for our highlights of the playoffs. Now let's take a look at Sinatraa, our MVP of the Overwatch League. Sinatraa from the San Francisco Shock. He's one of the best DPS in the Overwatch League. From transitioning from a Zarya, whose tracking was amazing, to a Doomfist in the 2-2-2 comp, who's changed the meta completely. Now he had the MVP award of the 2019 Overwatch League. Now here's a little bit of what he had to say during his acceptance speech.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to me. This has been one of my biggest goals coming into the season. Ever since I've seen Jonak win it, it's been my biggest goal. So I'm just really happy and grateful right now. I've grown a lot. Last season I was, a pretty toxic, ego, selfish kid. But coming into this season, I gotta give it to my coaching staff. Krusty, Junkbuck, 9K, they really helped me just grow as a player, an individual, a teammate, and a leader. So I'm just really grateful for them. Yeah. I mean, obviously, thanks to the fans who voted for me personally, but I want to give an even bigger shout out to just all the fans in general of Overwatch and Overwatch League. If it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be here right now, and this is literally my dream life, so thank you guys so much.
What an amazing player he is. Unfortunately, the San Francisco Shock, they're in the loser bracket, but I'm still looking forward to more play from Sinatraa. That'll be a wrap for our Overwatch segment. Now let's get into some Apex. Apex is hosting their first international championship, which will take place on September 13th through the 15th in Krakow, Poland. 80 teams will compete for a $500,000 prize pool. Also, make sure you grab your Mirage skin from Twitch Prime. It's only available for a limited time. Now let's get on with some 2K news.
We've been in the gym. Yeah, we've been in the gym. Focused on the win. What you say, boy? Come again.
NBA 2K20 just came out this past week, and everyone's forming their opinion around it, whether it's good or bad. My thoughts are, it's kind of too early to determine. Right now, I'm still in the grinding phases of the game. People been complaining about a lot of the glitches and bugs that have been happening, like the pro-am disappearing and people not being able to rep up. It'll probably get patched soon, but it's been a rough start for 2K20. With that said, I'm looking forward to the competitive scene when the season starts. Well, that'll be it for this week. I'm your host, Byron Kent, and this is Nucleus eSports.